Well, good morning to you, Elgin, and the viewers at home. I'm coming to you live from the Magnolia Dell Park in Pretoria. That's just a few meters away from the Ugandan High Commission. We can expect that from 10 a.m. The EFF, as well as many supporters of the marginalized group, will be marching against this anti-homosexuality bill that has garnered global condemnation for its discriminatory laws against the LGBTQIA plus community. As you can see, I'm just going to step out of frame so I can give you a scene setter ahead of 10. Of course, we are still a bit early, Elgin, so none of the supporters and the EFF members have arrived yet. We understand from 10 a.m. that is when they'll begin gathering, and people from all walks of life will arrive here today to protest against this bill, which the EFF says contravenes the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. I was speaking to EFF leader Julius Malema this weekend, and he was stating that for as long as we enjoy certain freedoms and other nations don't enjoy those freedoms, they'll continue to protest against such laws which they've described as bigotry and inhumane. So of course from 10 a.m. when we start to see those numbers coming in here, we'll be able to give you a comprehensive update from the communities themselves regarding this bill that has garnered or attracted worldwide condemnation.
Well, certainly here, Kenny, what we have is you have an opposition party that is standing in solidarity with the LGBTI plus community in Uganda. What does this mean for a South African opposition party to be taking such a stance? Also considering that a couple of years ago, the then Deputy President of the country, Didi Mabuza, when asked this question about the Ugandan anti-homosexuality bill, said that let's stay out of issues relating to what's happening in Uganda and keep our mouths shut.
Well, the EFF has always described itself as a protest movement with an unwavering commitment to marginalized and oppressed groups. So, of course, you could expect that this party, this is not an issue that is new to the party. They have stood with the marginalized groups, including having a march last year for Africa Day, etc. So this is not new to the EFF for them to stand up and say that this bill is something that they're going to stand up against and speak to the Ugandan High Commission regarding this inhumane laws that they're trying to pass against this community. The EFF is calling on all progressive forces to stand in solidarity with the Ugandan lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and intersex people to join the picket led by Julius Malema as they head over there. Now, at this stage, we're not sure what the stance or the demands that will be made by the EFF when they head over to the embassy. But of course, at 10 a.m., when we do start to speak to interested parties, not just the EFF, but members of the marginalized community, when they arrive here from 10 a.m., we'll be able to be giving you more details regarding the stance of the EFF as well as marginalized groups as they head over to the High Commission later from 10 a.m. today.
And from the research that you've done in the build-up to this march by the EFF, what are some of the concerns that have been raised by other organizations, including a business, for instance, considering that could find some multinational companies headquartered in Uganda, and perhaps some of their talent are people who identify as queer?
Well, we've seen from some human rights watch groups that when we were celebrating Human Rights Day, celebrating some of the gains that we've had and the promise of our constitution, Elgin, that a lot of these groups have come out stating that it is vital for South Africa, looking at its constitution and how progressive our laws are in welcoming all groups in our society to oppose this bill that they've described as dangerous and anti-gay. We saw the director of lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender rights program, Graham Reed, writing that op-ed saying that while South Africans were celebrating the Human Rights Day, although we have our challenges, the Ugandan lawmakers were passing this sweeping bill. So it has garnered that widespread condemnation, with many calling for nations to stand by Ugandans and oppose this discriminatory law.